Okay, so here's the computer turned on with the video cards in. I just want to say that I got this computer built from magicmicro.com. I was looking around to buy my own parts wholesale and build my computer myself, and I came across this site, and I compared the prices of the parts I wanted, and then had one built there. And you can buy systems that they already have put together, or you can go in and select bare bones and then just start adding the parts that you want and building it the way that you want it. And I had them build it, send it to me, and it was about the same price, maybe about $30 more to have them build it and send it to me than it was for me to get my parts wholesale and build it myself. And that was just finding parts on Tiger Direct, and they're pretty cheap, Tiger Direct is. So anyway, that's my little shout out to magicmicro.com, and they've got great customer service, by the way, superb. I mean, these guys are great, very friendly, very helpful, just good people. So anyway, okay, let's move on. Building a trading computer is not that hard. You just need to know what you need, and that's what this video is about. And I think after my last video and this one, in 20 minutes you're going to know exactly what you need, and you can move on with your life and not spend 2 weeks of investigation on how to get this done. So anyway, let's get into it. Here's the video cards, right? The 3 video cards we've already gone over in. So you need that. That's one thing. Number 2, you need the right... And one thing about these video cards is, don't think you're going to walk into Best Buy or Office Max or Office Depot and buy these. You're not. You have to get these online. Okay, so that's the only place I could find them. And I live in a pretty good-sized city, 100,000 people. It's not that big, but we got Best Buy, Office Depot, Office Max, and they didn't have it. Okay, so that's 1, video cards. 2, processor. You're going to want at least a dual-core processor, okay? This one, I can't show it to you because it's way back behind the heat sink and the fan. This is a heavy-duty fan cooling my investment, okay? I didn't go with the little bitty one. I went with the bigger one. So, cooling seems to be a recurring thing in computers. You want to keep your video cards cool. You want to keep your CPU cool. You want to keep everything cool. Okay, so anyway, I went off on my little rant there. You need a good dual-core processor, okay? And folks, stay away from Celeron. It's cheap. It's bargain basement CPU, okay? Pony up the extra $50 to $100 and get you a dual-core, okay? You can even go Pentium dual-core. That's fine too. But that's lower-end stuff. It's not the lowest, and it's certainly not bad. But Celeron you want to stay away from. You can even go with the lowest Intel Core 2 Duo that they make, and that's a 2.2 gigahertz for a desktop. I'm pretty sure that's the smallest for desktop. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's still pretty small. The one I've got is a 3.0 gigahertz. I think it's the second fastest they make. It's an E8400, I think. It may be E8500. Okay, so 1, video cards. 2, the right CPU. 3, memory. You want to have the right amount of memory. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sticks. Each stick is 2 gigs. That's 8 gigs of memory. And a quick lesson on memory for those of you who don't know, okay? Memory, the reason I can run 8 gigs of memory is because I'm running a 64-bit operating system. I'm running Windows 7 64, okay? Most operating systems are 32-bit. That's what you're going to get usually 9 times out of 10 when you go and buy a computer. 32-bit will only recognize up to 2.5 gigs of memory. Okay, so for you to shove 8 gigs into something that's 32-bit is a waste of money. You're flushing your money down the toilet. 2.5 gigs is all you need for 32-bit Windows XP, Vista 7. and Windows 7. If you're using Vista, scrap it and get something else. Anyway, go back to XP. You'd be much better off. It's a memory hog. Anyway, I've seen on some motherboards that have 16 megabytes or have room on the motherboard for 16 gigs of memory. You can only utilize that if you're using a 64-bit operating system. Also, if you're going to be using a 64-bit operating system, you have to have a 64-bit processor. And most processors these days are 64-bit. You know, they're built for 32-bit, but they're 64-bit capable. You don't have to do anything. They'll either run one or the other. And especially if you're going dual core, it's 64-bit. You don't have to worry about it. And let's see. So if you're going to run 64-bit, you know, you probably want to get at least 4 gigs of memory, and you know, it'll make that baby fly. I'm kind of like Tim the Toolman Taylor. I like to max everything out. Let's just let's just crank it up. Let's get all we can get out of it. Okay. So video cards, CPU, memory. The fourth thing that is most important is probably the very most important, because you're not going to make any of this stuff in here work unless you have the right juice up here. And this thing is pumping 550 watts. I've probably maxed it out. It's probably getting pretty close. I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm running an Okia 550 watt power supply, and it's powering everything you see. 1, 2, 3, 4 fans plus 5 plus I've got 3 other fans that go on my see-through wall, or my see-through panel. 3 extra fans that are cooling. Here's another one. There's another fan. Bam! You know what I'm saying? It runs a lot, and 550 seems to be fine for this. So, you know, if I had a 300 watt power supply, none of this would run. Or the video card certainly wouldn't run. 250, none of this would run. 400, I would be surprised if any of this ran. Here's my hard drive. I've got a 320 gigabyte hard drive. You know, it depends on what your computer needs are. Do you download a bunch of stuff? You know, maybe you want a bigger hard drive, but 80 gigabytes would be plenty for just a day trading computer. And you know, you can still surf the web and download things and do whatever. I mean, 80 gigabytes, it's not big, but it's not that small either. And then I've got 2 DVD burners, so it's running all of this. And this whole computer cost me about $450 on Magic Micro, minus the 2 DVD burners and the video cards. I bought the video cards separately. Another thing about these video cards, they get hot. You know, that's just the nature of video cards. They're going to get hot. This one up here, this one that runs 4, it especially likes to get warm, man. And what I did was I went and bought this cooling fan. It's on a telescope kind of thing, and it cools all 3 of these. It's a high RPM. Bought it at Best Buy for $10. Good investment. You should get one. Got one of these PCI slot ones. You know, it just goes in. It just goes in where in an empty space. You know what I'm saying? And this cost me about $10, and you can see it back here in the back, and it's cooling this video card right here. I bought this from Best Buy. I should have had it sent with my system, but you know, it was $13. Exhaust fan takes the heat out. Okay, it's a good investment. So anyway, yeah, you want to keep your video cards cool. So to recap, you need the right video cards. We've already gone over that. You need the right CPU, dual core. Stay away from Celeron. You need enough memory. 2 gigabytes is fine if you're running a 32-bit. If you're running 64-bit, go 4 and above. And the right power supply. Get a good hefty power supply. You know, 500 and up ought to do you pretty good. So hopefully that helps some of you guys out. And have a good day, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it is. Y'all have a